Hi, Brent. How are you?
Hi. Oh, doing all right.
Good to
Uh,
hear.
Driving, so I'll probably stay mute most of the time.
That sounds good. Definitely drive safe. Where are you headed?
To my farm
Okay,
up
very
up
cool.
up near Langdon.
Okay. How long of a drive do you have?
Well, I'm almost there. So
There you
probably
go.
20 minutes.
Not bad. All right. Well, this is just kind of the social hour. So I'm just gonna go on mute too until I see some more people. So you keep driving.
Is it just the two of us right now?
Yep, right now it's just the two of us, so we'll see who else kind of comes in for the social 15, I guess.
Hey
Hi, Ellen.
Jenna, let's see here.
Hello.
Hi Brent, how are you?
Hi. I'm doing all right. And you?
Good. I worked through lunch, so I'm gonna like go off and quick put some food in my face and then I'll be right back.
Yes, absolutely. Good idea. Hi, Keith.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us today.
Uh,
We're just in our little social 15 before we start at 2.
sure, sure.
Gotten a haircut since I saw you at the local food conference.
You know, I got that today. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I told told her, I said, well, I better get cleaned up here a little bit because I got a meeting
Yeah.
this afternoon.
Well, thank you. Thank you for getting all spiffy for us.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, it's really a nice day here. It's a little bit cloudy, but there's no wind, which is unusual. We're, we're
I'm muted.
headed
It's
to,
been pretty windy up here the last few days too, and it's
oh yeah,
looking nice out so far.
yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Bismarck.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Hmm I'm just glad it's
Yeah.
not dumping rain on us. I love the rain, but it's been a lot lately.
Yeah. Well, I get to go to Devil's Lake this weekend and fish with my grandchildren. That'll be a blast. Hopefully it'll be decent. So
Very nice. Yeah, I hope we got
yeah,
some good weather, some good
yeah,
catching.
yeah. Should hopefully catch some walleyes. Yeah.
How old are your grandchildren?
Let's see. I always got to get this right. 11 and 13.
11 and 13.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Almost both little teenagers.
Oh, yes. Yeah. My little granddaughter, she's really acting like a teenager. So she didn't know if she wanted to come this year or not. She's always been, we do this every year, go on a fishing trip on Memorial Day weekend. So. But I said, okay, well, bring a friend. And so that changed everything. And then she told me last night that she was just going to come because her friend had some family coming over. So, but that's all right. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
fun. You get to be, around 13, 14, and yeah,
Yeah,
bringing that friend is a great second option there,
it definitely is. Yeah. Yes.
Hi, Keith. I think you're on mute.
I am. I'm on mute.
Nice to
Hi,
see
Ellen.
you. Hi.
Good to see you too.
How you doing?
Good. Good. You?
I'm great. Yeah. I went back to school and I just finished. And Jenna, you're done now too, right?
Yep, done with my first semester of my grad course. It was program planning, so I got to put together kind of a cool program. I'm not sure if I'm ready to show it to Stephanie yet, but
Ooh,
yeah,
I can't wait
turned
to
my
hear
paper in
more
last
though.
week and woo.
Right.
Do you feel like you have more time? Because I don't. I feel like I just am catching up on all the things that I didn't do when I was full-time studying and working.
I definitely
Well,
was like, oh yeah, I have more time now. But then I was like, wait, there's the market, there's India. Nope, don't have any more time. My internship program starts tonight with the
Oh,
farm's intern. So yeah, we're
oh,
grabbed and
cool.
ready there. So yeah, there's
What
really
farm
never
are
enough
you?
time.
Are you
so
gonna
Al,
be an intern on a farm? Sorry.
I'm not an intern, so I have food system
Great.
interns.
Okay,
So some will be
cool.
on farms and some will be here in Bismarck at Public Health and potentially
Cool.
and at the Red River Harvest Cooperative and Family Roots, Jen Scoogs, and then Forager Farm. So
Awesome.
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, Keith, were you gonna say something before I rudely
Well, I was
interrupted?
just gonna give you a bad time because I've heard you tell me that before. You just don't have time. It's just busy, busy, busy.
I
So
know.
are you still getting some soil under your fingernails?
Yeah, a little bit here and there, not a ton,
Okay,
not as much as I wish. But
sure.
I'm thinking about buying my mom's land north of town, and that's when the real projects will start. So,
Well, good for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Holiday.
Hi,
Been a
everyone.
while. Nice to
Hello,
see you.
Holiday.
I thank you. Yeah, things haven't been working out. It seems like we have meetings at times when I'm in conflict somewhere. I've got all sorts of things happening, but nice to be back.
Are you back to working in the office or doing
Yep,
part-time?
here I am, but I'm leaving for New Jersey the day after tomorrow for a couple of weeks, so hold off on all the rest of your meetings for a couple of weeks.
It's a busy time of year with spring and all the garden stuff you got to get ready and
Yeah, I
projects.
planted my garden a couple of days ago.
Nice.
My little patio garden with two kinds of tomatoes, Roma
Oh.
and Early Girl, string beans, phase one, some yellow crookneck squash, zucchini, marigold, catnip, of course, for the purr of great price. I
Nice.
can't remember what else, something else. Yeah. Oh,
Do the beans
Hope
do well
everything-
on your patio?
I do it on my patio, so I'm an apartment dweller now.
Oh, and beans do well in pots on your patio?
Yeah.
Nice. Never tried that.
Yeah. I never
Yeah,
have
string
either.
beans. I like those Blue Lake string beans. They don't have the string in them, and they're
Yeah.
not too long. They're only about 5.5 inches long, and they're just right. Very sweet.
Did anyone have any trouble on the website when they were trying to log onto this meeting? I had some error messages and I had to reload my page a few times before it would open, but
Yeah, same. I had an issue the first time I tried.
yeah, I wonder if other people are kind of having a problem too.
Yeah, thankfully I didn't. It was fine for me, but no idea why.
I made a note of it, Ellen, and I'll talk to Robert if, yeah, about it.
I wonder if we should start adding the meeting links in the reminder emails so that you don't have to go to the website. You just can click to Zoom.
Yeah,
Might be,
yeah. Could be
a way to
everyone trying to
avoid it.
click in at once and it's kind of.
yeah, totally. We'll just give it like a couple minutes here before we start, just to make sure everyone can get in that's trying. Brent, I was gonna ask you how your food truck endeavors are going.
It's been busy, really busy. I'm at the farm this week because I've got a small crew helping me. And so my wife is tackling it on her own. I think she needs at least one other person to help her. Two is even better. But yeah, it's been busy these last 3 weeks.
Nice,
And I think she's doing okay.
good. Well, I
I'm
guess
still
we can-
driving, so I'm gonna stay mute. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, yeah. We'll just do introduction. Do you want to do introduction before you go on mute? We'll just start that process.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Brent Trella, a relatively quiet vice president of the Food Alliance, and I was working at the university at Northern Crops Institute, and have been this summer helping my wife set up a food truck that I just finished building, and I'm currently out here at my farm up near Langdon. Got some planting to do and a bunch of cleanup.
Thanks, Brent. And then I was gonna ask a warm-up question that kind of relates to an announcement later, but my question is, have you ever been to an event on a farm? And what are your favorite events to attend on a farm? Put you on the
Farm. I
spot.
guess I did go to farms a couple years ago to a meeting or an event forget what that was, but we basically met. Other than that, introduction to a farms project farm, a recipient of a farms support, and I don't recall. Yeah, it was a good event, and they were healthy farms, so that was good.
Thanks, Brian. I'm just gonna go in order so we don't get confused, but Jenna, do you want to go next?
Yes, so my name is Jenna Nieders. I am in Bismarck and I work for farms. I'm also the secretary of the board for NDLFDA, and I'm also on the Bismarck Farmers Market, just a member at large on the board for that farmers market. And my answer, I've been to many events on farms. It's awesome. And I would say like two that stand out in my mind, and there's one I think coming up this weekend. Forager Farm in Bakehouse always does their annual plant sale. So sometimes they'll usually have like a food truck out there. I think Hannah's adding bread and pastries selling this year. Sometimes they'll have baby goats. You get to hold and see all the baby goats. And then also when I was an intern with farms, we did the Minokan Farm soil health tour, and I just thought that was so cool, where they show you the different levels of soil erosion and the grazing and the cover crop, and yeah, so those are my two favorites. And I don't want to steal anyone's answer, but on the top of my list to go to is I hear Glimpse of Prairie does really good goat yoga on their farm too.
Nice, thanks, Jenna. Holiday,
Hi, what do you want to know? Who I am?
who you are, where you are, and what you do, and what kind of farm events you like.
Oh, I'm Holiday and I'm with USDA Rural Development. My office is in Bismarck and I do community development throughout the state actually, but a lot with the tribes. And farms, lots of farms. I've been on lots of farms. And one of my favorite memories is picking blueberries. I like picking blueberries in New Jersey, where I'm from. Yeah, it's my favorite time of year. I eat half of the ones that I'm picking and put the other half in the basket, you know.
Nice. Thanks, Holiday. Chris, you want to go next?
Sure. Hello, I'm Chris Gesley. I'm with the North Dakota Association of Rural Electric Co-ops. I live in Bismarck, and let's see here. So I've been to an event on a farm. So I haven't been to an event on a farm. And I see pictures of these farm dinners where people are gathering and the sun's getting low in the sky and they're eating all this fresh stuff from that farm, and it looks wonderful. So I fully intend to make one of those events at some point. And the Forager Farms event is now on my calendar. So thank you, Jenna, for that. And yeah, I think that about covers it. Oh, and I think I'm an official board member of the Development Alliance now. I don't know if there's an official induction at some point or if I made it. But.
We gotta get you in LinkedIn on all the info. And yeah, but you are official board member.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're gonna jump up to Tracy, if you can introduce yourself.
I can't get my camera on right now because I'm traveling, but
Okay.
I'm from South Central Dakota Regional Council out of Jamestown. Farm life is my life. I grew up on a farm for 17 years, went to college, went to the cities. I've had it all, milk cows, raised every animal you can think of, and I'm back out on a farm right now. So my most uneventful thing is I always said when I graduated high school at 17, I said, I'm never going to milk another cow. And I have not, because I just did not enjoy that. But horses and everything else, everything was good. And I'm back on a farm and I just picked 2 grocery bags full of asparagus this week. So it's been nice just to get back to it again.
Yeah, I love that time of year. My asparagus is just about done, but we enjoy it.
Same. Yeah.
Mitch, we'll jump to you if you can unmute.
Hi, Mitch Colkins from Lake Agassiz Regional Council in Fargo. I guess my favorite farm event, well, two of them come to mind. First, going to the pumpkin patch with the nephews. They love going looking through, trying to pick out a good pumpkin for Halloween. And then the You Pick It strawberry farms. Those are always good. Now I'm craving strawberries. So
Nice, thank you. Keith, we'll jump up to you.
My name's Keith Knudsen. I wear several caps. Today I'm the executive director for the North Dakota Farmers Market and Growers Association. I also have a ag consulting service working with small producers and kind of hit the areas of greenhouse technology, vegetable production, small producers. And then also I work with, kind of like with Holiday, work with Spirit Lake, and I also work with Turtle Mountain on a few projects with them too. So let's see. Oh, I've been on so many farm tours too. I think, it's hard to pick one, but I gotta say the one that I probably like the most is when I go to visit my kids in Wisconsin in the fall, and we get to pick apples and we get to pick out pumpkins and that kind of thing. So, and I think partially the reason why it's so much fun is because I'm with my grandkids. But I love the strawberry U-Picks too. They're a lot of fun. So, and I've been to several. I was when Garden Dwellers had a couple of their different events. I was at their events. Probably some of the favorite things there is food, really great food as some of those. So, let's see, what did I miss?
I think you got it. Thanks.
Okay.
Jan, we'll go up to you.
Hi, everybody. Jan Stinkowitz, Community Health and Nutrition Specialist and Tribal Liaison for NDSU Extension in Bismarck. Current sitting president for the NDLFDA. And I grew up on a farm too, so lots of farm experiences, like tourism sorts of things, but also just like, it's not necessarily an event, but it's like during harvest when you bring out lunch or you bring out supper, and it's just like everybody in the field just kind of comes and aggregates and communes together. I think that's, maybe it could be an event for folks who don't live on farms, but that was always something. I didn't ever have to drive truck or tractor or anything, but I had to get the meals out to the field. So but then also lots of those agritourism things are fun, like farm dinners, the U-Pick stuff. I love all of that too. So
Awesome. We'll jump down to Casey Olson. If you're able to unmute.
All right, I'm here. I'm traveling, so
Nice.
I'm Casey Olson. I am the new urban conservationist with NRCS in North Dakota. I just started yesterday. So I'm located in Bismarck, so that is my new gig. As far as on-farm activities, I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, so have a lot of farm experience. I haven't been to too many small farm operations since I had left Wisconsin, but looking forward to going to some. U-Pick strawberries are one of my favorite things to do. So I guess other than that, I'm excited to be a part of this group and to get to know more of you in North Dakota.
Awesome, Casey, welcome. Congrats on the new role. And then last but not least, we'll go to Sherelle. Is that how you say your name?
Yes, that's correct.
Cool.
I am Sherelle Sorensen. I'm in Williston, North Dakota with Tri-County Regional Development Council. We're a TA for North Dakota Regional Food Business Center. I haven't been to very many farm events, but I did grow up on a very small rural farm, and we go to my significant other's family farm every year for fish fry.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. I guess I'm the last. I'm Ellen. I am the board treasurer of NDLFDA, and I live in Bismarck. My paid work is in renewable energy, and I do community engagement work on the side. Also part-time farmer. And I think that I grew up on a small farm. We sold bedding plants. So we started out as like a organic produce, and then transitioned into the greenhouse. And so I like just grew up in greenhouses, and I was with my family all the time. It was my dad and his brother and their wives and their kids. And it was just such an awesome childhood that not many people get to experience. But I also grew up right down the street from the pumpkin patch. So we would ride our bikes there every day and like torment the people that own that as like just little terror children, doing whatever we want because we thought we owned the place. But yeah, I just love all the events. I also am in a band, and I got to play a farm dinner out at, before Forager Farm was Forager Farm, it was Riverbound Farm. And so we had a farm dinner out there and live music. So many things and so much fun. But I think the best part of it all is just bringing people together around food. So thanks for sharing all your stories. Looks like we have one more joining us. We'll wait till Katrina's audio is connected. Hey, Katrina. We're just doing introductions if you can hear us. We just finished. If you wanted to introduce yourself quick, name, location, organization, and then if you have ever been to a farm event, and what are your favorite types of farm events?
Oh, sure. Hi, guys. Katrina Hannenberg, Local Foods Marketing Specialist for the Department of Agriculture. My favorite farm event. I did a farm dinner a long time ago at the now Forager Farm. It used to be Riverbound Farm, and it was a farm dinner, and it was super awesome, and it had lots of local food. That was cooked by Beth Schatz-Kaler. I remember it very, very vividly. It was awesome. So that was probably my favorite.
I just was talking about that, and my band played songs during that dinner.
Oh, yes, very cool. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. No problem.
Then we have one more that joined. Katie, are you able to introduce yourself? And then I don't know if you heard the question, but it's, have you been to a farm event, and what are your favorite kinds of farm events?
Hi, I'm Katie Erickson. I am an AmeriCorps Vista member with Farms. And I'm just trying to quick think of a farm event. I know I've gone to like apple orchards and picked apples during the fall or pumpkin patches. But I would love to go to a farm to table dinner, and I've never done that.
Nice. Well, we'll have to find one or make one happen. Where are you located? Are you Bismarck?
Right now I'm in Harvey, North Dakota.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. Thanks for coming. I think we got everybody. If I forgot anyone or if anyone joins, we'll just have them jump in. But now I'm going to turn it over to Keith Knutson. Keith used to be on the North Dakota Local Foods Board and helped build this organization to what it is today. And now he's the executive director of the North Dakota Farmers Market and Growers Association. So thank you for being here, Keith, and take it away. And you're on mute again.
There we go.
Perfect.
So is there a slide up in front of you now?
There
yet?
is not.
Okay, let me try this.
There we go.
There we go. So thank you so much for letting me speak to the group today with the North Dakota Farmers Market and Growers Association. And it's been kind of an interesting, it was about a year ago that I was asked if I would be interested in helping out as an executive director, which is a part-time position, but it can be as full-time as we want it to be. But so I've continued to work with that as an executive director. And let me see if I can make this work right today. Here we go. Okay, so the North Dakota Farmers Market and Growers Association is really an association for educating producers and farmers markets, and even getting to the point where we're working with consumers now. And that's kind of been a transition that we're looking at. In the past, we've mainly focused on working with producers and farmers in farmers markets mainly, but there's other market channels. And so we're starting to look at some of the other opportunities with some of the other market channels. And then and really we want to focus more in the future on working with customers. And some of the things that we've done in the past is worked with our farmers markets on promotional type things. And now we want to try to go more into educating our customers too on local foods. So that's kind of our mission. We have 10 board members. We have 2 members kind of from each region in North Dakota. There's 4 regions in North Dakota. And then we also have a treasurer that's elected annually and an officer or an officer at large that's elected every 2 years. So that's basically the makeup of our board. And then right now, Marvin Baker is actually in the 2nd year of being chairman or president for our organization. He's from Carpio, North Dakota, and has a CSA there, and then also does some farmers markets. So our membership, we have kind of 3 different types of membership with our organization. The first is a kind of a individual membership, and that's a $35 membership. We also have what we call a farmers market membership, and that's kind of based on the number of members that the farmers market has. And so, of course, as the number of members go up in the farmers market, so does the cost of membership. But the neat thing about that is that the members individually don't need to pay the $35. They pay their farmers market fees, and then they automatically become members of the North Dakota Farmers Market and Growers Association. And then we have one other membership type, and that's Friends of the Market. And that's really individuals that are not necessarily producers or farmers market vendors, that type of thing, but people are just interested in what we do as an association and want to follow us. So we have a number of benefits that as an organization that we really stress with our members, and we have a resources page. Our resources extends beyond our website in that we're now looking at doing some events, some educational type events in the next year or so. We've received some funding to do that. And then also, I have a background basically in this area and in farmers markets and farm business management and horticulture. So I get a lot of opportunities to work with a lot of different vendors and producers throughout the year on just helping them, assisting them, giving us my ideas. So another area is grant opportunities. I'm going to get into that a little bit. We have 5 different grants that we offer. There are smaller grants, they're $300 to $500 grants, but we find a lot of times that the individuals that get those, they really utilize them, do a very good job of using every dollar that they get. We have a Dakota Grown label that's on the screen there in front of you. And so members get to use that Dakota Grown label throughout the year when they're at their farmers markets or on their labels, that type of thing. And then, of course, we have our newsletters, and I'll talk a little bit about that, but we have quarterly newsletters. So our grants are, we have a farmers market, a mini grant, we have a farm to school, and the farm to school is a relatively new one where and I say farm to school, but it's actually a farm to any kind of an institution or a restaurant or a grocery store. So it's a newer one. We have a youth gardening grant, we have a youth vendor grant, and then we have what we call a new vendor grant. So just to run through these a little bit, because we still have lots of money out there. So if you're visiting with anybody, producers or farmers market vendors, let them know that we still have a lot of grant opportunities out there. So the first one is what we call a mini grant, and that's for farmers markets, and it's a $500 grant. And a lot of times we like to see that particular grant funds go towards promoting their farmers market, and that's seen that done in a lot of different ways. We've seen banners, we've seen them advertise or heard them advertise on radio, we've seen them advertise in papers. So it's usually a lot of different types of promotional. We even like them to have events that maybe that they could pay for, you know, maybe music or some other types of entertainment. So I know 500 doesn't go a long ways, but it seems to help kind of keep the farmers market moving along. So so it's mainly to encourage sales and consumption. In other words, get customers coming to their farmers markets. So just an example of that, here's the Watford market. They made a banner last year. They made a couple of different banners, and that's how they use theirs. But they use it in a lot of different ways. And a couple of other examples that I've seen is one farmer's market printed a bunch of grocery bags. And so, you know, I mean, the cloth type bags. And so they handed them out to their customers, and it was nice to see the customers bringing them back week after week. So that's one example. I've seen another example where farmers market bought tables and canopies for their new vendors to kind of help them get set up and get them started kind of on the right foot. And so, and we've all seen a lot of different booths and pickup box type situations. So I think that's a great idea that they try to provide some continuity in their farmers market that way. So the second one is a grant. It's the farm to school one. It's a $300 grant, and that typically goes to individuals who want to get into schools or maybe restaurants, hospitals, that type. And so a lot of times, my experience is with this one, a lot of times that's used for packaging their produce or their baked goods or that type of thing, and labeling. So, but those funds can be used in a number of different ways. Really don't restrict the funds a lot. But what we do at when the individuals apply for these different grants, we ask them what they're going to apply for or what they're going to use the funds for. And so we get an idea, and sometimes I will visit with them and kind of encourage them to use it in different ways, but we don't really restrict them too much. So the next one is kind of this is a fun one. We really get a lot of exciting. At the end of the year, I ask for a report and pictures, and this is always exciting reports to read, is the youth group ones, because it's any age. I mean, it's 1 to 19. So we get church organizations, some school organizations. We even get 4-H types organizations that apply for these, and it's a fun way that the money needs to be spent on gardening. So, you know, buying seed, maybe buying hand tools or doing those types of things. So, but that's a really fun, interesting one that I enjoy working with them. Another one is a youth vendor grant, and this is for youth in the age group of 10 to 18. This tends to be one where parents are maybe farmers markets, or parents are thinking about being a farmers markets and their kids are really excited about being part of it. So they can apply for this youth vendor grant. We do have one kind of restriction is in that we only allow one grant per family. So if a youth gets it, then that means the others can't apply for the other types of grants in the family. But the interesting thing is we now have, I've got one brother and a sister, and they have now, this is their 3rd year that they have applied. So each person can apply 2 years. So the girl applied for the first 2 years, and now the boy is applying for the second 2 years. And interesting enough, is part of the guidelines, we say that, okay, when you run out of youth grant at time, then you can go ahead and apply for a new vendor time. So there's, like, you know, for a family that has 2 children, a maximum, they could get five grants. So over a 5-year period. So it's kind of neat. This is one of those, again, where a lot of the funds that are spent or typically spent on the booth itself or labels or packaging or that type of thing. So here's an example of it in this picture. Here's another example, and just kind of an end of the year thank you from Kensley and Parker with their project that they had. So, and they used theirs for supplies and a number of areas, you know, for planting and even use some of it for labeling. So it's good to see that. It's really good. What I really, really like to see is seeing the association have younger and younger individuals in the association. When I first started, I know I imagine the average age was maybe 60, 65, something like that. And now we're beginning to see a lot younger membership, and which is really neat to see. So then we have the new vendor grant, and this is a $500 grant. It can be for first and second year vendors or producers or people in the, we typically have always said farmers market, but now we're starting to spread out because we know there's other marketing channels like CSAs and direct to stores and that type. So this is a great bet. Was there a question? No? No, okay. So this is a great grant for individuals, and they can apply for it 2 years in a row. And up in that picture, there's an example of an individual that received it, and they bought a lot of labels and jars because they do a lot of canning, that type of thing. So, and then also we through Dakota College at Botna, we've got a couple of classes that people can take. If I go back on the mini grant, that's a farmers market grant, and we do have a farmers market manager online class for those individuals. And in the past, the association has paid that fee. And then also we have for new vendors, we have what we call a GAP, or Good Agricultural Practices online course. And it's a 14-session course that individuals can go through, and it basically covers good agricultural practices from the point in which you buy your seed all the way through in going to the farmer's market with it. So here's another example. Last year, John and Rebecca received a new vendors grant, and they started up a microgreen business. And so they've been relatively successful at it. We had our local foods conference with the North Dakota Department of Ag this spring, and they brought the microgreens, which we just absolutely loved. And it worked out really well to incorporate that in our meals. So, and they were paid for it. So in another example here of a new vendor, Desiree had set up a nice booth last year, and has the booth and the equipment to continue to do so. But she had spent some of the funds on egg cartons and a cooler and a freezer. So there's just some of the types of things that individuals spend their grants on. This year, just to kind of go over, I mentioned we have lots of grant dollars available. We have 10 youth grants, and I think we're at 4 today that we've used. The youth group, I've only used one of those. The mini grants, I'm at about 11 right now. We have 20 to use. The new vendor grant, I think I'm at 12 right now. So we have 30 of those. And then the farm to school, I haven't used any of those grants. So it's a little bit early in the season, but we're just really starting to see some real activity there with applications. So if you hear of anybody that's, talking about farmers markets, let them know that we have some funds available. I guess the only other thing about that is they need to be members, either individual members or a member of a farmers market that's a member of the North Dakota Farmers Market and Growers Association. So local foods conference, and Katrina's on here. Katrina was such a great partner for us in 2024. We had our local foods conference in Bismarck, North Dakota. And we had a really great group of participants. In 2023, we had it in Bono, North Dakota. It was kind of a down year. We only had about 30. And I think this year we were up in the 70s or 80s. I don't remember, Katrina, but it was really quite a change. And the other noted change in there is about a third of the conference goers were young people. And that is, for me, something that in my experiences going to conferences in the past that I have not seen so much of, but it's great to see. And so I like to see that, and I think that's going to continue. We had submitted or asked people to fill out a survey and got some ideas and some thoughts. One of the things that since even the surveys, I've had visited with people and people say, well, you know, springtime is typically a conference time, but it doesn't work out for a lot of people. So we're kind of looking at maybe doing it in October, November. And I must say that working with North Dakota Department of Ag, it's really helpful. And so Katrina, I think maybe we'll have to take a look at maybe if that works in the schedule with North Dakota Department of Ag too. So we're looking at that and want to try to maybe go to that instead. So. And then we have our newsletter that we do submit about 4 times a year. And that's basically, you know, what's happening out there and local foods and on farms. And we typically like to have one farmer or producer that we have a feature story on. And then we'd also talk about upcoming events. And so this next one is coming out in July. And I'm focusing as executive director on consumers in that particular newsletter, because we send out about 700 newsletters, and I would say out of the 700, over half of them are not necessarily members or farmers market vendors, but they're individuals that are interested in local foods, maybe have been a farmers market vendor in the past. So we want to try to get the word out more and work with consumers more in the future. And that's kind of what I got. If anybody has any questions, I'd sure take them. So.
I have a question for you, Keith. Where does your original funding pool normally come from? Is that grant funded federally or?
It's privately grant funded, and I'm not at liberty to give that name,
Okay.
but they've been very good to us over the years. They've funded our grants for, I guess, 7-8 years now. So
Nice.
yeah. So it's mostly privately funded. However, we are looking at some federal USDA type funding coming up, and I think the main thought there is that as our organization grows, we know that there needs to be an executive director more on a full-time basis is what we're thinking. And so we would need funding to support that position.
Any other questions?
I have a question for you, Keith.
Hi, Katrina.
Hi. You make me feel so special. You talk so nice about me. So
Well, you are special.
oh, thank you. Have you received anyone apply for the farm to school grant? You said it was new. So has anyone applied yet or no
I have
one?
not. No.
Okay.
So
Well, that
cool.
might change now that I know about it. So
Perfect. Perfect. Yes. We want to use it all up.
is there certain projects that you would be looking for?
No. No.
Open?
It's wide open, yes.
Okay.
I would really like, and especially I think from your point is I'd really like to see us work with some producers for farm to school. I think that's one area that has unbelievable potential that we just
Mm-hmm.
haven't tapped in North Dakota yet.
We need to talk because I've got
Okay.
some things coming up. So,
Okay.
okay.
Sounds good.
Any other questions for Keith?
Well, thank you.
Hi, Keith.
Yes,
Can you share your grant opportunities out with our audience?
some of the grant opportunities. You mean as far as besides what I talked about, or?
No, could we just include them, let our audience
Oh.
know the grants themselves in our newsletter or social media?
Yes, absolutely. I can do that. I could do it in a couple of different ways, but I want to try to do it in the most effective way there is. Maybe Jenna, we can kind of figure out some way to do that. I mean, one way, I've got this presentation, but I've also got the website, and maybe we can send that link out too, that goes through all those grant opportunities too. That might be helpful. So yes, we'll definitely do that, Katie.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Keith. We appreciate hearing all of that wonderful information and seeing you in this role. You're a good fit for that, I think. So, and
Thank you.
I'm not sure who is, we're gonna go down to the update on the North Central Regional Food Business Center. Is there, Jenna, do you have an idea of who, do you have any updates there?
Yeah, so essentially the grant applications have closed and they are just reviewing, they're currently reviewing the applications that they have received. So that is what I have from Farms as an update, and it does kind of tie in with our NDLFDA member update, which is that we're seeking that steering committee to work with Felicity Merritt, the Economic Recovery Corps Fellow with Surrey Basin, on the NDLFDA website design. And so far, I have volunteered to be on that steering committee, but then we still need a few more people to join. Yeah, so I think that is pretty much where we're at. Chris, if you have any updates from the North Center Regional Food Bin Center on your end.
I really don't. I missed parts or half of the last meeting, so I might have missed a lot of the discussion on divvying up the tasks in that local food state plan. But yeah, in terms of the steering committee formation, I would like to get a meeting of that steering committee, by the way, on the calendar before our next partner meeting. So I'll reach out about that separately. But yeah, no further updates, I guess.
Does anyone know how many grant applications they received for the Business Builder grants?
I believe it was 82.
Nice.
Did anybody else hear that number? It was quite a few. It was significant. Yeah.
Great. Glad you're here, Sandra. I didn't see you here right away. Sorry.
I wasn't here right away. I got on late.
Nice. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
Are any other updates from anyone on the call related to local foods?
We have set our dates for our summer tours for farms. So in June, June 25th, we'll be in Grafton, and this will all be on our website. I'll share the website link as well, but June 25th, we'll be in Grafton. July 25th, we're doing a Hillsborough area field day. And then in August, we're going to be here in Bismarck on the 12th. Well, not here in Bismarck, but at Minokan Farm and at Forager Farm. So actually around Bismarck. And so as far as our tour dates, I'll share those with everyone. And then like I mentioned earlier, some people weren't on the call. My food systems internship is starting up tonight. We have 3 interns, 1 Bismarck, 2 in Fargo. And so the interns, part of it is they're doing rotations at satellite sites and independent projects. So if you are around either of those areas and you're interested in having an intern come and work at your site for the day, you just let me know and we can get it arranged with an intern to go spend some time at your satellite site. And yeah, Katie, I think that's it for farms updates that Stephanie was talking about this morning, right?
I think that covers it.
Awesome. Well, I have one. The reason I asked in the beginning of the meeting about farm events is that currently Burleigh County and the city of Bismarck are drafting ordinances on how to allow for events on farms. From my understanding, this came about because a local farm wanted to have a very large wedding. And some of the neighbors weren't too happy about that. Which is understandable. So they're in the process of writing this. It's the staff. I attended the Burleigh County meeting. I haven't been as involved in the city of Bismarck ones. But the staff is currently trying to draft an ordinance that would have a permit process for events. And they don't have a lot of perspective from the local, like, smaller agriculture economy. It seems maybe like they have some input from commodity crop big farms. So I know that we've shared this out with many of you, and hopefully you've been able to read it, but they're asking for input from local people, farmers, stakeholders alike, to help them draft this in a way that would serve all parties and something that the commission can pass. And I can share this out again, but there's a few things in my mind that I think are a little problematic for small farms. The way that it reads is there's a requirement that the land be 40+ acres, and that would affect many of our smaller farms. Basically eliminating any type of event or gathering. And then some of the definitions of what they call, what they're calling like Tier 2 agricultural recreation includes things like orchards and floriculture. So just the process of growing, like I think that those need to be looked at a little more. Of course, things like pumpkin patches, hay rides, you pick things, farm dinners, things like that. So I guess my goal is just to notify people that that's happening, and hope that you guys will take a look at that and maybe share some of your thoughts. I think agricultural events and farms are very vast and diverse in size and scale. In other places, we're seeing things like rooftop gardens and farms, and that obviously wouldn't fit into this ordinance. You know, we're having local farms might only be 2 acres in kind of like a backyard situation. So it will affect a lot of people, and I just am concerned that it will maybe eliminate the usage for our local smaller producers to host things like farm dinners, or it gets a little weird with even like the U-Pick, because it's usually U-Pick things are kind of built into business plans of farmers because the labor is so expensive to have employees come pick the fruit. So things like that. But I guess, what is the best way to share that out, do you think? Should we just compile a little email with all the things we talked about in this meeting and maybe share that out with everybody? Cool. And they haven't set a public hearing for those yet. It's in the pre-planning phase for the county. I'm not quite sure where the city of Bismarck is on that. But I know some of you aren't in Bismarck, but this is, I think, the first ordinance drafted by a county and city regarding agritourism. So it's probably going to set some precedent for future counties. Any other questions, thoughts, updates, discussion? We have about 15 minutes still if we want to chat about anything. All right, nothing, hearing none. One last thing is the NDLFDA board, we still are accepting some applications. I think we have, is it 1 seat open now with our new board members we just brought on? So if you know anyone that would be a good fit for helping facilitate these meetings and sharing the word, we would appreciate you forwarding their info to us. I'm really grateful for all of you being here and working together on local food projects. And we will get that email sent out in the coming days. And thank you to Keith for presenting today. We'll let you guys go early, I guess. Have a great day.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks, Ellen.
Bye.
Thanks, Keith.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.